Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be my review and ranking of the Giorgio Armani di Gioia fragrances. So we have 9 of the fragrances to go over, so let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so before I do the breakdown, I did kind of want to flash this photo of the first 4 from the line. This is Light di Gioia, Ocean di Gioia, Acqua di Gioia, and Sky di Gioia, just because I think this photo kind of really lets you guys know that this is not meant to be a very intense fragrance. As you can see, they have kind of like these 4 little dots, and then the intensity level is like 2 dots. So they're pretty upfront with you that these are very soft, kind of fresh. And I wouldn't say they're soft. They're still fragrances that people notice. So I wouldn't say that they're skin scents, but they're not like beast mode fragrances. So Light di Gioia, this is considered a warm floral fragrance. This is luminous, sparkling, and feminine. Then we have Ocean di Gioia, and this is a floral fruity green fragrance. This is clear, dazzling, and lively. Then we have Acqua di Gioia. This is citrus aquatic. This is zesty, vibrant, and cheerful. And then last from the first 4 that they have pictured here, we have Sky di Gioia. This is a fruity floral. This is sweet, subtle, and sensual. I kind of just wanted to go over that real quick because I again, when I was kind of looking and pulling up the notes, I saw that little photo and I thought that that was a really good way to kind of capture what these fragrances are described as. I would just say that Light di Gioia, I wouldn't consider it a warm floral as much as I would consider it kind of a fresh white floral. So let's go ahead and go over the first fragrance. Okay, so first in the line, we're gonna go over Acqua di Gioia, and I'm gonna talk about these 2 hand in hand. It was originally released in 2010. I believe the rest of them were like 2016 with a few coming out afterwards. But I've heard a lot of people say that this is more watered down, this isn't as sweet. I've been testing these side by side. Now I will say when I first got this one, it was more fresh and crisp, but I've had it for a year and I actually have it on today, like both of these, one on each side, and I've been sniffing them. And I will say that I wore this one the other day and I'm like, oh, this isn't the beast of a fragrance as the original was, because this is a fragrance that it lasts on me until I take a shower, and it's also a fragrance that if I get my hair and my clothes, it will stay on my hair and clothes until I wash my clothes. And this has notes of Amalfi lemon, mint, middle notes of water jasmine, and then base notes of Virginia cedar, French labdanum, and brown sugar. Now, I've never gotten like a vanilla out of this fragrance, old or new, and I've never gotten like the brown sugar. I've always gotten the Amalfi lemon, the mint, and I've gotten like the jasmine and the cedar. Yeah, and this is just a very fresh, aquatic, kind of lemon zesty fragrance. It's one that when I wear it, people already know. This is a scent that is associated with me for anyone who knows me very well or any of my coworkers. This is a fragrance that I've gotten probably the most compliments of. Now, it is one that I've had in my collection, but every time I go out, I can always count on one person to ask me what I'm wearing. So this is my signature scent, even though I no longer have a signature scent. It's a fragrance that I've gone through bottles of. I've had in my collection for the last 10 years. This is probably my 4th bottle, this one being probably my 5th. Yeah, they smell similar. Again, this one's a little older, so if I'm like really trying hard, I would say that this is probably a little touch fresh, like a little bit more zingy. I do want to hunt down more of these bottles just because now that's in my head that it's not the same. But I don't know. I'm gonna test it out a little bit more. Hey guys, so I did go ahead and wear this to work. I wore this one to work because I've worn this one to work, and again, this one's gotten compliments, so I wore this one to work. And what I can say is, while they do smell the same, there is a difference. These open up very similar. This is just blended better. The top, the mid, the base, I never picked up on certain notes in this one, like the brown sugar. I feel like the brown sugar is blended in a way where it adds something to the scent, but I don't necessarily pick it up. But I actually did get like a sugary water towards that 6-hour mark. Like I could smell the base notes. Like I could almost smell as the notes start to disappear layer by layer. So to me, this is just blended better. It's formulated better. Like I feel like maybe as perfumes are getting released and as things are changing, because I know that there's some guidelines now on how fragrances are made, maybe this one isn't made as well. This lasted me my whole work day, but it became more of a skin scent. After the 2-hour mark. This to me is like next day fragrance on my skin. Also, I noticed that this one leaves an amazing sillage. This is one that when I step away, I leave my scent wherever I was. So I wore this one to work. No one noticed it. And then the next day, I found my old bottle that's pretty much done. And I wore this. And as soon as I went outside with my mom, she's like, what are you wearing? You smell really good. But I am gonna be on the hunt for this one. What sucks is that a lot of companies put the picture of this one. So I did order one from, I think it was Forever Luxe, and it had the picture of this one, but they sent me the 100 ml of this one. So if you guys know of anyone or any place that's selling the old bottle, I can say that the difference is the performance. So those are the differences to me. Okay, then next we have Acqua di Gioia, and this is one that opens up nice, but the dry down gets a little bit more screechy on my skin. And this has notes of salt, neroli, mandarin orange, peony, orange blossom, ylang ylang, cypress moss, patchouli, and cashmere wood. Now when this opens up, it's very, again, fresh, but salty and woody. So whereas the original Acqua di Gioia is more lemon, I do get more of like a salty breeze, air, kind of like the name would imply. And then there is something kind of, I mean, I do get a little bit of earthiness that's probably coming from the moss that's in here. If anything, I get the moss. I don't really get the patchouli in here. I don't get the neroli and the orange blossom. It's a little dry. Like a few of these fragrances I do describe as being a little bit of a dry fragrance. Like when you think of your sinuses kind of drying out, that's what some of these kind of remind me of. And then I do get the peony in this one more than I get the ylang and the orange blossom. I will say that I find this line to be more about the accords. This is a very fresh, kind of summery line. It's a line that if you really enjoy freshies, you might really like this line. And they all perform, I would say, about 5 to 6 hours. They have pretty decent longevity, but towards that end of the 5-6 hour mark, you're gonna get more of the base notes. You're gonna get more of like the woods and the earthiness. So I would say the best performing fragrance is definitely Acqua di Gioia, at least on my skin. That is like 10+ hours next day fragrance. And then the other ones, they're a little bit more like that 5 to 6 hour mark, and then you're going to be left with more of the base notes. To me, these scents are all these fragrances are very beautiful, like in the opening. So this one's a little bit more salty. It's a little bit more, it's aromatic, but I would say it's not as green and aquatic as Acqua di Gioia. This one's more breezy, more salty. I wouldn't say it smells like Olympia, but think of that kind of ocean breeze scent. That's what you get in this one. It's just a little bit more on the greener side. And again, that is Acqua di Gioia. And it's in this really pretty kind of like, this one's like a little bit more green, and this one's more blue-green. Then one that has been discontinued that came out in 2016 is Sun di Gioia. And this is in that old bottle. This one I'll try and link. I have seen it still floating around. Yeah, this is more of kind of your a little sweet amber, warm, tropical, beachy scent. So this falls in the line of like those kind of suntanny, but this one's a little sweeter and a little bit more warm from the amber. This has notes of freesia, bergamot, frangipani, ylang ylang, jasmine sambac, and then base notes of vanilla, ambroxan, benzoin, and iris. This to me is a very warm, tropical, yellow floral, ambery scent. And then there is something a little powdery and you get something sweet in this one, which is the vanilla. I have Replica's Beach Walk, and I know some people have compared the two. This one I feel like it has a little bit more yellow florals, a little bit more depth to it. It's more amber, a little bit more sweet. If you like sweet fragrances, this will be a nice beachy one. So I'm gonna see if I can link it. It's not gonna be for everyone. It does have kind of that like ever so slightly kind of suntanny feel to it, but not heavy. It's just some of those yellow florals are a little waxy and they kind of give off that suntan kind of vibe. But yeah, this one's got a little bit more going on to it than some of those other kind of suntanny fragrances. But yeah, this one is Acqua di Gioia. And then next we have Acqua di Gioia, and this one was released in 2017, and this has this really pretty like light pink top. And this one on the paper, not so much on my skin, but on the paper it's a little dusty. So this to me is your fresh musky rose scent. So this has lychee, pear, pink peony, rose, blackberry, white musk, and cedar. I would say sky, light, and air. They're a little more linear to me, where they kind of open up and stay the same until that 5 or 6 hour mark, and then you're left with like the base notes. So this one does become a very kind of musky, woody scent. And in the opening, I do get something tart, which is the lychee, and I do get like a little bit of fruitiness, which is the pear. But to me, this is more about the pink peony and the rose and the musk. This is a very fresh, slightly fruity, musky scent on my skin. It's one I probably wouldn't repurchase again. I do enjoy it. I've been, as you can see, got a little dent in this one. It's a nice, easy grab. It's really good. Like all these fragrances are really good for the, you know, hot temperatures and everything like that. They're fragrances that last for the first, again, I would say 4 to 5 hours. You get a lot of the same notes, and then it just starts to get into those kind of base notes after that mark. So this one is one that, like the next one and also like air, they have something a little dry about them, and on the paper it comes off very dusty, but it's a little bit more drying to my nose on my skin. And again, that is Acqua di Gioia. And then next we have Light di Gioia, and this is a floral woody musk fragrance. This is one that I put in my springtime perfume video, because to me, out of all of these, this is the most kind of floral, a little bit more springtime. And then there is one that to me is kind of transitioning into fall. So this to me is a very spring transitioning into summer kind of fragrance. Like if you're someone who likes to wear transitioning fragrances, this one's definitely one you can wear in summer, but it's a little more floral than some of these other ones. A lot of these are aquatic or maybe kind of salty. They give off a little bit more of a kind of summertime vibe. This one, although it's fresh, it's just a little bit more floral in my opinion. There's gardenia and jasmine in this one. That can be a little headache inducing if I overspray it, but I do enjoy this scent. I don't know that I would repurchase it. The notes are bergamot, gardenia, jasmine, white musk, and woody notes, and that's pretty much what you get in this scent. It opens up, you know, kind of fresh and citrus from the bergamot, and then it dries down to a white floral musky fragrance. It can be, I don't want to say sharp, it's not like a sharp citrus, but again, there's something about this a little dry, and if I spray this one too much, it will give me a headache. So again, that is a Light di Gioia, and this one's in this really pretty pale yellow color. Then next we have Ocean di Gioia. This one's in a like a baby blue, like light blue kind of shade. And this is a floral fruity fragrance, and this has top notes of pear, citruses, green notes, middle notes of water jasmine, salt, lily of the valley, rose, and then base notes of musk and sandalwood. This one I really, really like. This opens up with like this juicy, mouth-watering, fruity top. It has pear and citruses, but it's almost like mouth-watering fruity. Like usually pear is a little bit sparkly and citruses can be sharp and bright and fresh. This has a very mouth-watering opening, like fruity opening. and it's a little shampoo-y, very clean. And then when it settles down, you get something slightly beachier, like very slightly in the background, and then you get like the white florals, but they're soft in this scent. It's not as strong as I would say the florals that I get in Sky and Light. Those two are a little bit more on the floral side, this one being a little bit more pink florals, and then Light being more of your white florals. This is a fruity floral, but it's more of like when you think of L'Imperatrice 3, like that mouth-watering, very refreshing, but in a clean kind of shampoo-y way as well. This to me is a fruity floral, and then when it dries down, you get a little bit of the musk, and it's just a nice clean scent, but instead of just being fresh, you get kind of that fruity shampoo-y vibe out of this one. And again, that is Acqua di Gioia. Okay, and then last we have Acqua di Gioia. And this one to me is the one where you're transitioning from summer to fall, or like the sun is going down kind of fragrance. To me, this is the most coziest out of all of these. And when I say cozy, it's more of like the beachy air, and you have on like maybe a cashmere sweater kind of cozy. It's just something about it that's less fresh, aromatic, and aquatic, but still tropical, just on a more cozy side. And this one has notes of pear, mandarin orange, bergamot, middle notes of almond blossom, jasmine, and then base notes of amberwood and musk. And then this comes in this pretty like terracotta kind of color. Yeah, this line, when I smell these perfumes, I don't get Acqua di Gioia, like the DNA. To me, it's more like a scent type. This is their beachy aquatic line, but this one's definitely more nutty, and it's more, again, cozy. There's just something cozy about this one. So when this opens up, it's fruity, but without being in your face kind of fruity. Like I would say the fruitiest out of the line is Acqua di Gioia. This is just very slightly fruity. What are the fruits in here again? This one has pear, mandarin orange, and bergamot. But see, the pear in here isn't like mouth-watering. This is like a very soft, fruity opening. I feel like maybe the almond blossom and the amberwood are like coming in at the top as well, making this more of a warm, kind of nutty, floral, slightly fruity scent. It's got a little powderiness in the dry down, and I do get a little bit of the musk, but to me this is more about the almond and the amberwood. And I do get a slight clean jasmine, but I don't get it heavy on my skin. This one's really nice. I ended up really enjoying this one. This to me is one of those fragrances that I like to call like my sun setting fragrances, kind of like Olympia and my Lalique. Not that I only wear it, but they just remind me of the sun going down. That's what this scent reminds me of. And again, that is Acqua di Gioia. So that was my rundown of the Giorgio Armani de Gioia scents. So I'm gonna rank them really quick. So my all-time favorite forever will be is Acqua di Gioia. This is my favorite. And then I would say Acqua di Gioia comes next, and then Acqua di Gioia. These are three that I can see myself repurchasing. I could see myself repurchasing these. I would say next would be, even though I have to be in the mood for Sun di Gioia, I do find this to be a very unique scent. So I would say this one comes next, then Sky di Gioia. And then I would say these two are pretty neck and neck. This is more of a beachy, kind of salty air scent. This is a little more white floral. But they both give me the same feeling. They're not fragrances that I would repurchase, but I do enjoy them, especially working from home here. But I do really enjoy, especially these two. These are my two favorite. Acqua di Gioia and Acqua di Gioia. They're just beautiful. I wonder how they would smell if I mixed them. I think mixing them would be really pretty, because they don't have, ooh yeah. That's a nice combination right there. So this is now my scent of the day. Acqua di Gioia and Acqua di Gioia. So let me know in the comments below, do you guys have any of these fragrances? What are your thoughts on them? But that will do it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.